Hari Om, Shubhadinam. So I am continuing Power of Yoga in Hinduism, part 2. So we saw about the yoga yesterday. We just saw about the 8 Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. Ashta plus Anga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga. And 8 parts we saw, 8 limbs or 8 parts of yoga. Patanjali Shastra. So Yoga Shastra is a very, very important one. And we saw that Yama, Niyama, Asana. Then we saw Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. These are the 8. And we took the first portion, which is Yama. Yama is not the Lord of Death or that Yama. Yama means the moral code of conduct. Yamam. It's a moral code of conduct. And in this Yama Vibhaga, because Yoga says in Patanjali, Yoga Sutra, chapter 1, verse number 2, Yoga Chitti Vritti Nirodha. That's all he says. Yoga means not only the asana, which is the third part, which is 3 by 8 out of the 8. It is that Nirodha. Now what is Chittam? Chitta Vritti. Chitta Vritti. Now what is Chitta? Chitta is mind, thoughts, mind. You can see a lot of, from the thoughtfulness, thoughts, mind and all. Vritti is the manifestation of the mind. See how many vrittis, how many ways, methods, marga. The mind can go. It can take various manifestations. Mind can at one time be angry, at one time be sorrowful, at one time dukkha, and one time sukha, then one time grieving, one time ego of a man. Everything is a mind is a huge reservoir of manufacturing operation of various emotions for a manhood. Your taste, your sense, you enjoy sweet, you enjoy hot food, you enjoy spicy food, bitter food. See, everything is created by that mind. Psychologists would accept, modern psychologists and psychiatrists would accept, the mind is a very big vehicle which has connectivity with the universe. So, that Nirodha, what is that? That Vritti Nirodha of the mind. Chittam. You have to aparodhaniya. That means you are bringing the mind to stillness. You throw away Nirodha, you throw away, you cut off, you remove the various manifestations of mind and lace it to one. That is the Yoga Shastra itself. And for that there are pathways. You cannot simply, I can simply talk. No. We have the rules. So Patanjali has classified like that. 8 angas, 8 parts. So we saw the first part, Yama, the moral code of conduct, in which the very first Patanjali gives importance to ahimsa. Himsa, opposite is ahimsa. I told you haladi pratyaya. If you put on the consonants, kaka, chacha and all, ha is a consonant, yara, la, va, ha. So ha is a consonant. So if you put to himsa, it becomes the opposite meaning of himsa. It becomes, himsa is violence, ahimsa is non-violence. So ahimsa is what Panini gives some very big importance. That is, you have to be non-violent to other beings. You cannot kill or disturb or harm other beings. Thiruvalluvar also beautifully says, no, inna saidarai oruttal, avar nannayam saidu vidal. Don't harm anybody, even if they harm to you. Instead, do good unto them, so that they feel ashamed of the harm done unto you. Do good, he says, for even those who harm you. So, this ahimsa, why I am repeatedly telling, is what we have to follow and what Mahatma Gandhi culled out from the Vedas, from the Yoga Shastras, and followed that principle. Very difficult principle. It is very easily said, but very difficult to preach and very difficult over and above to practice. And that is what Einstein said of our great Mahatma Gandhi. What did Einstein say? Einstein said of Mahatma Gandhi, quote, generations to come, it is scarce to believe that such a man walked on the face of this earth in human flesh and bones, unquote. Einstein said it is very difficult to believe that people like Mahatma Gandhi in human flesh and bones. You may think of a God in spirit and all, of which you have seen or heard about. But having seen Mahatma Gandhi for this, like this, I will not believe even in the future generation that such a man can appear, or in the past such a man can appear. Einstein the Jew, mind you, he was a Jew. He comes from the same clan of Jesus Christ or from the Jerusalem. He never spoke anything of those prophets. But he spoke of our Mahatma Gandhi. Einstein, the greatest scientist the world has ever produced, did not say anything about any other prophets other than our Mahatma Gandhi, though he knew all of them very well. Because Mahatma Gandhi practiced non-violence, which is the most important thing. All terrorists should abandon their terrorism, follow non-violence. Mahatma Gandhi is the Krishna of the modern world. He is a Kali Yuga avatara. He demonstrated it, what you can do. A puny man with a powerful, he created a powerful weapon culled out from our Vedas of Hinduism called Ahimsa, and made his way to the greatest success, thus paving way for youngsters like us, youngsters, the future youngsters. Therefore, Ahimsa is very important, because Patanjali also says in his Yoga Sutra book, chapter 2, verse number 35, Ahimsa pratisthayam tatu sannidau vairatyagah. So, sannidau, in the sannadhi, in the Bhagavan's presence, or in the presence, in the sannadhi, sannidhau is a saptami vibhakti, seventh vibhakti, ekavachanam. It means in the presence, on the presence, or amongst the presence, we can say. So, sannidhau, what in that sannidhau we have to do? We have to do the pradishthapanam of what? Ahimsa. Ahimsa pradishtha, pradishtapanam, pradishtayam means pradishtayam, bhashayam is again a seventh vibhakti only. Pradishtayam, in the establishment of Ahimsa. That, then what? That in the sannidhau, in the presence of, then vairatyaga. This vaira means all vairagyam, they say. Tyagaha, you have to aparodhaniya, you have to remove it. You have to sacrifice all your vairagyam, your ego. Vairagyam, I would say, is ego. Ego kills a person. For ego, Bhagavan Uddhava Gita also, Bhagavan says about Kuraram bird which carries a flesh in its mouth. I have told in my lectures several times. So, throw the flesh away and you can be free. Throw your ego away, you will fly free. So, the tyagaha you have to do, Patanjali also says. The tyaga, the sacrifice of the vaira, you have to throw it away. So, in the sannidhau, in the presence of the divine only he means. So, ahimsa was a very important concept. See, you have to think of about 3000 years back, roughly, or 2500 years back. Panini was born around 300 BC or maybe in the 1st century AD. We can't accurately pinpoint, but at long thing, Purva, that is long term back itself, he has taught such divine concepts and philosophies when their entire world was practicing cannibalism. Patanjali is also, I think, before Panini, or they were all contemporaries. Vararuchi, I have given you the example, Vararuchi also. They may be contemporaries. But Patanjali was very firm. Ahimsa is the important concept. Then only comes to Satya. Satyan, Vedas, what does Vedas say? Satyan na pramadidhavyam, dharman na pramadidhavyam, kushalan na pramadidhavyam, swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramadidhavyam. You should not, pramadidhavya means to ignore, to be ignored. Na pramadidhavyam, not to be ignored. Satyan it is Raman, like Dvitiya Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. Satyan na pramadidhavyam, dharma, charity na pramadidhavyam, kushalan na pramadidhavyam, even your own happiness, welfare, your well-being, do not ignore your body. Na pramadidhavyam, deva pitru karyabhyam na pramadidhavyam, you do all duties to your gods, your devas, and pitru karyabhyam. Karyabhyam, abhyam means duality, indicates Deva and Pitrus. So, all those things, it comes there under Satyam. Then he says, Asteya. Sthenam, asteya means non-stealing. I told you, is a haladi pratyaya, ajadi pratyaya you put. But ha, because ha comes, you put only haladi. Only will come, not an. So asteya means non-stealing. Then he says brahmacharya, have control. Brahmacharya is not bachelorhood as commonly understood, but abstinence of sensual pleasures. After marriage, after you have the progeny, then you can be like a brahmachari. That's a man has to be like that. Very well described in Tripura Rahasya if you read, how the body is nothing but fecus and blood and stinks. So don't give too much importance to your body. Don't give too much importance to the sensual pleasures. That's the meaning that Dattatreya and Parashurama's Vivada arguments. So, you respect your body as a temple, but don't indulge in those sensual pleasures, because they are all fecal matters. That's what beautifully it's been explained there in Tripura Rahasya. So, that is a brahmacharya. And then he says, we saw what is known as aparigraha, we saw. So, all these things has to be there. Parigrahanam, I said parigrahana means coveting, grahanam. Pari means another. A means against opposite to parigrahanam. Not to covet. Not to grab. So, Panini brings that in the Yama, he brings the moral code of conduct very beautifully. And then next comes the Niyama. Niyama, he again comes out with Saucha, Tapas, Santosha, Swa Adhyaya, self, Atma, Swa Adhyaya, and then he says Ishvara Pranidhanam. You have to think of Ishvara also. So the second, that's called Niyama, out of 2 by 8, I am explaining Niyama. The more of it I will explain in my next session. Till such time, Bhuyat Tavat Shubhamangalam. Thank you.